Most retirees and wannabe retirees tell you to buy and hold stocks and hope. Well, that doesn't cut it for me. Let me show you a strategy that allows me to extract premium from the stock market on a monthly or weekly basis. Yo, what is going on, premium chasers? I hope you're having a God blessed day today. Every single person that comments down below is going to get our small account starter kit, perfect for those of you just getting into this strategy. So if you want that, just drop a comment. I'll personally respond to you with it. And while you're down there, hit that like button and that subscribe button, guys. But today, I'm going to be showing you a strategy that your financial advisor would not tell you about, okay? Now, we're going to go over, of course, all the risks with this strategy, but you're going to see how this strategy can actually fit into everyday life, right? Me, as somebody that prioritizes way more things than trading or investing, like faith, family, 3 kids, fitness, all sorts of other things that I want to do, this fits absolutely perfectly in. And it is something that I'm going to be doing literally for the rest of my life, especially when I'm fully retired and needing to actually create an active income, not living on the few $1,000,000 I'll have, right? And hoping I make it, right? Absolutely not. That ain't no way to live for me. So first and foremost, what we want to find out is a stock that we want to buy, right? Like that's the first and foremost. Now you could do this strategy on stocks, ETFs. There's so much content here on the channel as well as in the description. So dive into all that. Now today we're going to be looking at Palo Alto Networks. This is one of my favorite companies and is getting just... it's giving me the sweats, fam. It's giving me the sweats. Palo Alto Networks giving me the sweats here, guys. It is. And there's some good news that just came about that. Whatever. We're not going to be talking about this acquisition that they're making, but we can see it is down almost 10% here today. And look at this thing. It fell off in a day from 204 down to 176. Now, I'm just using this as today's example, but this strategy, again, you could do it on SPY. You could do it on VU. You could do it on whatever you want to do it on, okay? Right? So you just have to obviously make it fit into whatever your goals and your risk tolerances are, okay? So first thing we're going to do is go to our brokerage account. Now, you will need to be approved for selling options or options trading. Listen, bear with me, bro. Listen, I already know how you're already on that X button. You're already ready to leave. You're like, dude, I got bamboozled by Pete here. He's going to be teaching me options trading. Listen, I'm no options trader. Listen, amen in the comments if you lost money trading options, because I am not smart enough. I lost all the money trading signals and that a teenager would send me too. All right. So with that said, right, what we're going to do is go to the trade options section. You can do this on any brokerage. Now, we're not being a little silly options buyer. We're being an options seller. Okay. This is a big difference here. Okay. Big difference. Look, to channel my inner Andrew Tate, right? The brokies are buying options. All right. And the people with money are selling options. And you're going to see why this strategy does take money, guys. But essentially what we're doing is putting our money to work. Now, depending on the stock that you do this on, right, it will dictate how much money you need. Let me show you, right? We're going to click sell a put. And this is the expiration date, 1 minute or more, and we'll go over that. I'm going to go 30 days out. All I'm saying here is I'm willing to buy 100 shares of Palo Alto Networks, ticker symbol PANW, right, on August 29th, okay? Now I get to name my price. I get to name my price that I'd be willing to buy Palo Alto for, and I'm going to collect a premium up front from an options buyer. So if you ever bought options before, you know when you have to pay like a couple $100 to get a contract? Guess where that money's going? It doesn't just, like some of you think it just goes into the market and it's just, well, I guess it does go into the market, but it goes into an option seller's pocket, all right? You're paying somebody on the other end, all right? So with that said, obviously at the time of me recording this, right, obviously nothing here is financial advice. It's all results vary. The premiums I'm about to show you will always look different. This is just what I'm saying, all right, at the time of me recording this. Currently trading at 177. Okay. Now I get to pick the price that I'd want to purchase 100 shares of Palo on August 29th, right? Like, so for example, if I look at the 160s right here, right? If I click this open, you'll see I collect $277 of premium, right? You see estimated credit, and it's moving. Obviously the market's open, results vary. You see this is constantly changing, guys. There's no way it's going to look different when you do this, right? 291, right? So, right. Like, so for me, I'm just going to say say 291 because this is just crazy. I'm going to go put this into my cash secured put calculator. All my calculators and stuff like this are free. All right. All you got to do, right, is go join our free Facebook group. Okay. And they're in there for you to actually use, right? Believe it or not, I want you to actually go use this stuff. I know it's crazy. So I'm collecting $291 of premium up front. I'm saying that I'd be willing to buy 100 shares of Palo Alto. Listen, I don't make the rules. One contract equals 100 shares. That's just the way it is, fam. I wish I could make it. I wish I could make it different, but that's just not the way it is. So you could see here, one contract equals 100 shares. All right, that's what I'm saying. You need money to make more money. This is just the way of the world works, guys. I'm sure you've heard the saying before. Anybody that tells you otherwise, just trying to pull an over on you. The reality is this: if you have money, you can make more money. Like every other strategy, like all these crazy trading strategies, buying meme coins, fart coin, butthole coin, you know what I'm talking about. Like they're just taking, like, honestly, broke people's money. Like, that's literally what it is. Like, that's what that is. And penny stocks, it's because people don't have money. Listen, I recommend go get a job, start a business, do something to create yourself some more money. And then this strategy, when you do have money, or like in your retirement years, you will see that you can do, right? So I'm saying I'm willing to buy 100 shares of Palo. Right, at $160 a share. 160, guys, times 100 is $16,000. We got this, right? So I'm going to put $16,000. Why am I putting $16,000 right there? Well, your brokerage is going to lock that money up. This is called a cash secured put. Sounds complicated, but it's literally what I just showed you. We are locking, your brokerage is, you're telling your brokerage, hey, I'm willing to buy 100 shares at 160. Your brokerage isn't just going to let you say that, collect premium, and then if it actually drops to 160 and you don't have the money to do it. So it's going to lock up that cash or your margin. Again, I don't recommend playing with margin, especially if you're a beginner, if ever, right? Usually that just means you don't got money, right? So you should probably not use it. Now, there are special situations with you. I use margin all the time, but like, listen, for the most part, don't you do your own, do your own thing, right? But so I'm locking up $16,000. I'm getting a 1.82% return on my collateral. How am I getting this? So I'm dividing my premium, 291 divided by $16,000, okay? Few risks here that can happen with this trade, all right? Very important you understand them. Number one, let's say the 29th rolls around, the market closes, and Palo Alto is trading at like 177 still. Didn't move at all, right? Your contract expires worthless. That $16,000 that your brokerage locked up is returned back to you. And guess what? We run the play again on another opportunity or another trade, whatever it is that you want to do, right? But we collected that premium, right? Second thing that can happen, this is the biggest risk of this, right? Let's say on August 29th, right? Palo Alto continues to drop like a rock. It continues to drop, right? And it drops down to like 140, 130, zero, $1. You are on the hook to buy your shares at $160. So you got to be comfortable with the company you pick. You get burned with this strategy when you start going into stocks that you have no idea what they do. You have no idea about their business model. You'd learned about them from YouTube. Like, for example, let's say you've never heard of Palo Alto Networks and you're, I'll go look at Palo Alto Networks. Do your own research, right? Like, don't get financial advice, right, from like random YouTubers, okay, or podcasts. You build your own watch list, okay? Now, the cool part about this strategy is even when we get assigned our shares, what we can do is flip the script. There's so much that goes into this, guys. That's the thing. Like, high level, it's easy to explain, but there's so many cool things. Like, some of the things that I do, I kind of called this the Ark Options Strategy. A lot of you probably have heard of like the wheel strategy, but I call this the Ark Options Strategy. And why do I do that? Well, because there's a few little layers I added on there. Like, I use a brokerage that collects me interest on my money that's locked up waiting to buy a stock. Let's get it, right? I ain't walking by no extra 4% a year. Hell no, right? Plus my premiums, right? Now, the cool thing about this is we can now, if we get assigned, or let's just pretend you own 100 shares of a company, right? Let's just flip the script, okay? And we'll kind of talk through this, right? Let's now pretend that you own 100 shares of Palo Alto Networks or any stock for that matter, or ETF, right? What we can do is collect rent on those shares, okay? I like to call it collecting rent. Is it the technical definition? No. Will somebody in the comments say that that's an inaccurate statement? Yes, right? Those are two guarantees in this world, okay? Plus taxes, right? But with that said, I'm going to flip to sell a call. I got to have fun here, guys. If you ain't like it, leave. But with that said, let's say you own 100 shares of Palo Alto Networks and you got them at $178. Well, we can go a month out, and now we're clicking sell call. Now we're just flipping the script here a little bit. What we're saying is, hey, I'm willing to sell my 100 shares of Palo Alto Networks on August 29th, and I'm going to name my price, and you damn well know you're going to give me a premium too, right? So what what I'm doing here is, let's say, I'll just pick a random one, 195, right? We'll just say 195 because the premium's around the same, right? $195. Let's say you're willing to sell your 100 shares for $195 in 100 days, right? So now, guess what? I'm going to hit you with another calculator, which is free in the Facebook group. A link is down below, right? So my premium here that I'm collecting is $370. Let's just go with that. $370, again, result will vary. My strike of the option that I'm willing to sell my 100 shares of Palo for is $195, we said, right? My purchase strike price of Palo Alto is, we said it's just around market value, so we'll just say $178, right? And boom, right there, we got a premium return of around 2%. How am I getting that? Well, all I'm doing is dividing the premium divided by my purchase strike price times 100, right? Because you have 100 shares, and let's just assume your 100 share cost basis is $178, okay? So that's how I put that there, right? It might be higher, might be lower, whatever yours is. This just helps me map things out. That's all I am, is I'm dividing the premium by the strike price. Now that gives me that return, right? If I end up selling my shares, I'm going to get an extra $1,700 in appreciation sale, right? For a total profit of $2,000, right? $2,000 on that, right? That's the premium plus the profit. Let's talk about the risks, because guys, they're important to understand. It is imperative that you educate yourself on this stuff before you just jump into things. That's why I say, go dive into the channel content, right? Check the description. I try to give you as much information so you can make your own financial decisions, okay? So first and foremost, right? First thing that can happen is, again, let's just assume the 29th comes around and Palo's just trading sideways. It's just trading at 178 still. Well, what would happen here is your contract would expire worthless. Your 100 shares would no longer be locked up by your brokerage account, and they would be returned back to you. Fantastic. We run the play for the following month. You guessed it. We collecting some more of that juicy premium, right? Number two, this is the biggest risk, right? Biggest risk. Some of you freak out about this, but guess what? For me, I treat this, my portfolio, this part of my portfolio, as a business, right? Listen, some of you will have your 401ks. You're going to have your high yield savings guy. You're going to have your buy and holds. Cool. Keep it. But this, for me, I'm not telling you what to do. I treat this, any extra cash I have, I'm putting it into selling options, and I'm focusing on income. I'm not focused on appreciation. I'm not focused on buy and hold. I'm literally treating this as, hey, did I make money? Like, that's literally the only thing I care about. I don't care. Okay. So, but with that said, here's the biggest risk, right? Let's say on the 29th, right? Palo's trading at like $200-$300 in 30 days, right? Well, you're selling your shares at the price that we said of $195. Now you're going to be locking in those gains, and that's the way I like to look at it. Hey, this market, it can go sideways real quick on us. Now, guys, if you want to learn more about this strategy, I call this the Ark Options Strategy. And the reason I call it this is because I over-engineered the wheel strategy, which has been around for decades upon decades. I added extra layers onto this as well in order to create 5 sources of premium and income into one simple option selling strategy that literally fits into everyday life. As somebody that works, has business, has faith, family, fitness, I don't stare at charts all day. I don't stare at candlesticks. Even if that crap worked, you damn well know I wouldn't be doing it anyway, okay? So if you want to learn more about the Ark Options Strategy, click the first link in the description of today's video. There's a 7-minute video that dives into this stuff in way more depth. And remember, guys, sell options, collect premiums, repeat. I'll see y'all tomorrow.